Hello, my name is Simon and welcome to AFC Bournemouth Analysis. Here's my somewhat belated take on our season as a whole. So I'm going to start with the overall season rating and I'm going to look at what people have said rather than my own opinion first. So Sean Greenwood said rating the season as a whole was tricky. We've not had the spark of previous seasons but have had some great results along the way. Met expectations, 7 out of 10. David Yates on Facebook says similar thing, can't complain, been tricky at times. 12th in the Premier League, staying up comfortably. Yeah, hard to complain, 7 out of 10. And Drew Burks stayed up but too inconsistent, 6 out of 10. I'd go along with that. I think I'd probably give the season a 6 out of 10. I think we've not really progressed, despite the fact that we've been 2 points. We were just 2 points off where we finished last season in terms of point total. I think we've gone backwards a bit and we failed to replace some elements of the team that needed to be replaced earlier. I understand it's a hell of a job that Eddie Howe has to do to replace the whole championship winning team that was so strong and worked together, and it was all about commitment and togetherness. So it's really hard to replace that with players that both know and want to play the way he wants to, and also that are interested and excited to play for Bournemouth rather than being mercenaries. So but I think that Eddie Howe hasn't helped himself a lot this season. I think there's been some bizarre choices that he's made in terms of selection, like he persisted with playing Harry Arter despite the fact he was clearly out of form last season, and he didn't play Lewis Cook, and then as soon as he started playing Lewis Cook, he started playing as well as he did at the end of the last campaign, so that was a bit strange. It's also somewhat telling that he doesn't really know what our best formation is still. He's trying to shuffle all the players that we have, and we never really settled on a formation. We tried 3-4-3 and looked very effective in that excellent 3-0 win at Chelsea, but then got thrown away when we got battered at Huddersfield using it. So there's been no real consistency in selections, and we've really had to rely a lot on the spirit of the long-term players, and lots of last-minute comebacks, loads of late goals. Without those, we'd probably be relegated, I think. I'm pretty sure that's correct. I think we've 21 points or something from losing positions. It's really the spirit that's seen us through this season, and if we're going to progress and stay up as comfortably next season, we'll need to bring in some top talent and slowly phase out players like Simon Francis, Charlie Daniels, Andrew Sermon in midfield, Dan Gosling. We need better players, and we need to work out who we're going to play up front, because Josh King, when he played as the main striker, was effective, but he just hasn't had the chance to play in that position for much of the season, and despite that I think he scored 8 or 9 goals. So there's a lot of things that need to be worked out over the summer and moving into next season. So overall I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Player of the season, as you can see, most people have said Nathan Ake, apart from Glenn Fox, who says Frano. Hard to disagree with that. Nathan Ake is clearly our player of the season, imperious in defence. We conceded over 60 goals this season, but it terrifies me to think of how many more we'd concede if we didn't have Ake at the back. So pretty obvious. Nathan Ake has been our most consistent performer all season, and hopefully we can hold on to him for a season or two more yet. Then I asked who the player of your season was that wasn't Nathan Ake, and I got quite a few varied answers. David Yates say Adam Smith put in some great shifts before injury, so he nicks it ahead of Mini Cook. RDW4591, who is AFCB Bob, I think, said Steve Cook. Lewis Whedon said Lewis Cook. Drew Burke said Ryan Fraser, who's had a bit of an underrated season, some progress been made. Lorenzo Davids says Lewis Cook. KCB49 says Asmir Begovic. Sean Greenwood says Lewis Cook for how much he's progressed. For me, I'd probably say Lewis Cook. There's been games where he's looked overawed, but that's sometimes been because I don't think he can play in midfield too. He needs another player supporting him. So I'd say Lewis Cook for how much he's come on over the last season or so with us, and he's a very exciting talent. He's on standby for the England squad. I think bright things are in his future, and hopefully we'll get to see him for a couple more seasons yet. Then let's move on to best moment, and there was a common theme. Chelsea result last minute winners. Take your pick, says Paul Warsash. RDW4591 aka AFCB Bob said Chelsea away, as did AFCB Bob, as did Lorenzo Davids. And then KCB49 said around 4:55 PM on the afternoon we played Swansea at home. So obviously referring there to when we stayed up. Personally, for my favourite moment, that I actually attended the Newcastle away game with the last minute winner was pretty hard to top, to be honest. Amazing scenes there up in the heavens at St James's Park. But yeah, in terms of best single result, it has to be the Chelsea game, where I think we caught Chelsea at a good time, but still we played that 3-4-3 formation to perfection, and yeah, we just ripped them apart. And yeah, it was a brilliantly complete performance, and arguably our only complete performance of the season, which is disappointing, but shows where, you know, what we can do when we have a full strength squad and play our best attacking formation. And then worst moment, I've got a few. KCB49 says around 4:55 on the afternoon we played Southampton away. RDW4591 goes for a bit of an obscure one, City at home. And then Juberg said Huddersfield away, particularly gutting after a 3:30 AM start. Also Southampton away, fans were great but team just not on it. Yeah, there were a few. I mean, this season's been a bit of a strange season. We've had lots of low moments. I personally think the Southampton was very disappointing, but I can vaguely understand why they wanted it more. We'd kind of stayed up and they didn't. But a game that really disappointed me was Huddersfield away, where we were on an amazing run of form. I think we're unbeaten in 10 or something like that, unbeaten all year, and we just put in a gutless display, really gutless. We all knew Huddersfield would be up for it, and we just needed to match their intensity, and we just didn't do it. We were so limp-wristed. It reminded me of several away games we had last season where teams just seemed to just show a bit of fight, and they, you know, ran all over us, like Middlesbrough away last season, Hull away. Yeah, that was very disappointing for me and kind of put a dampener on the season. But yeah, there's been lots of strangely subdued performances we've had. A very poor start to the season where we just didn't get going. Games where we've just lucked out, like Newcastle at home, where we just managed to bail ourselves out. West Brom at home, where we were poor but managed to get away with it. Loads of games like that. There's been quite a few poor moments. I can't say I agree with City at home though, because I thought that was one of our best performances. It was disappointing to lose in the last minute, but I thought the team was superb that day. But yeah, there's been, I think, more disappointing moments than good moments this season, but we've stayed up, so you can't really complain. So yeah, overall the season's been a strange one. Not one to forget, but not one to really remember either, to be honest. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say on the season. Sorry for the lateness of this video. I've been meaning to get to it, but just things have got in the way. I'm hoping to make some videos over the course of the summer, both looking at AFC Bournemouth products that I've wanted to review, and also looking at the World Cup and looking at our transfer market activity, Bournemouth that is. Yeah, so please do subscribe to the channel to stay updated on those. Yeah, like this video, comment, let me know what you think. Follow AFCB Analysis on Twitter and Facebook. The URLs are in this video's description, but they're also here. And yeah, thanks to everyone who's contributed this season. I really do appreciate it. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and up the cherries in all departments.